But strangely enough, there is left in the world today an area as big as the United States
that's never been seen by a human being.
The best is yet to come.
Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. Until they release the flight logs. You, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me.
Houston, we have a call.
We destroyed that technology.
People should not be walking around with masks.
That stuff is flat.
There's your flu last year. Here's your flu this year.
Literally doesn't even exist.
All right, finally, I'm here, guys. Welcome to the premiere of the Hibbeler Effect. Thank you for all your patience. I got a lot of DMs on Instagram like, where's your show? Where's your show? It's like, I'm so sorry. I got, as you all know, I was doing a project with Mariam Haneen. And since we're on YouTube, I'm not going to get into all the details on what that topic was, but it's called The Real Timeline. Go check it out now. I saw her production and the direction she was going with the film, and I agreed for the most part with everything that was in the film. So I was on board. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So I got to happen that, and then obviously I met with Joel Bauman up in Phoenix, and we had a project going on with the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge, and that's another thing that we had to do that I felt like my calling was to get that done too. So I had to put the show on hold for a little bit, but I'm glad we're here now, and I'm sure you guys all know who the first guest is. It's everybody already knows by now. You're not watching this not knowing. You can read and see. So Joel Bauman, King Bao. We all know that post-game UFC Fight Pass interview about calling out Hollywood, and he did it in a way that is undeniably amazing strategy, and the results are there. The Jimmy Kimmel Challenge hashtag was huge, and it's still huge, and I was glad to be a part of that as well. But I do want to thank all of you once again for joining the premiere show. It's been a while since Level Headed Podcast. We did that after Level came out, the film, me, Tanner, and Johnny. And that was fun. We had pretty much everyone that was in Level came on, and we had a couple other extra guests. And we did 7 good episodes. We ended with John Levi, which was a great show. So those are all free here. So you could share those and get those out, Level Headed Podcast. But I wanted to come back, and I wanted to have my own show, give my own guests, and do my own thing. It was time. I love doing the Oddcast with ODD and Dave Weiss as well. Same as Level Headed Podcast. I love being a part of those shows, but I really want to just start my own show and have my own guests and have my own focus and topics and things that you guys want to hear that we could discuss on this show. So always make sure you comment below and let me know what kind of topics you want, any suggested guests. I will try to get him on and talk the big boy talk, but let's bring him on. Okay. Joel's been waiting here in the waiting room, so let's get him in. All right. Joel Bauman, King Bao, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on.
Up, man?
Thanks for doing the premiere of the Hibbeler Effect. I really do appreciate it, brother.
I have to. It's for you. It's for you. I got to do it,
Thanks, man. And for those that are watching this at the moment and seeing my guest, I know you've heard of him. I know you've seen him. How could you not see him if you have a cell phone? He went viral not once, but twice. I'm sure on the way to the third time soon. But Joel Bauman is known for many things, in my opinion, and good things, very good things. But this is what he's known for the most. Let's roll it.
Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick.
That was epic. Everybody saw it. I wanted to know, like, with the Jimmy Kimmel specifically, were you targeting Jimmy because he was one name on a list and you're like, hey, man, like, you're first randomly? Or explain to my audience, because I know, but I know my audience might not know. Explain to my audience how that kind of started, why Jimmy, and just the attention it's got, man. The hashtag was huge.
He ultimately set my name during a time where I was setting up the media.
This is something I wanted to get to last night. We ran out of time. So in Texas over the weekend, MMA light heavyweight Joel Bauman beat Reese Forrest at Fury FC 61. And after the fight, delivered what was perhaps the most unnecessarily honest post-fight interview of all time.
Last fight, I was tired. I was exhausted. I'm about to launch this NFT that's going to change the fight game. And I put in 30 all-nighters before that fight. I had herpes before that fight, 2 outbreaks in the span of a week. I'm here. I'm healthy. Let's go. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think we just found our next bachelor.
I let them run with the first viral story saying, oh, fighter tells the world that he has herpes, only for it to be a setup to promote a bigger message. Genius. And he was one of the tools that ran with the bullshit. So we just wanted to and we also knew he was on a supposed list. And we just used that to garner the attention. If somebody said I was on the Breakfast Club, and had I would have known I would have been on the Breakfast Club, they probably would have got all the smoke. I would have loved to go after Charlemagne and all of those. But the big thing was the feedback I saw. Like the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge came literally, it was a day-by-day thing. And I would get feedback from my fans, and then I would talk about whatever they wanted me to essentially talk about. Yeah. And so while I was going viral, everybody's like, Jimmy mentioned you. So I figured it was the best time to just start the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge.
In more ways than one, it's his fault, literally.
Yeah.
Shouldn't open his mouth. Shouldn't be who he is anyways, and probably what he's actually doing behind the scenes. That's wrong to begin with. Even the speculations regarding, because with everyone on the list, it's speculation, right?
Yep.
But
sure.
With speculation comes red flags. Bingo. And there's many red flags with this list. Not only are they hiding it, they don't want it out. They don't want it publicized. They don't want people held responsible. They don't want the people on the list to even talk about it, speak about it, breathe it. They want to bury it. Well, then that's a red flag. And we need to look at that list. And I think that the attention you brought, not only to the list, because for a while, this list was the biggest thing on even normal people's society that was talking about it. And then, we're on YouTube, so we all know what happened the last couple of years, but it kind of changes the direction of everybody's mindset.
The fact that you even have to say that. The fact that you have to even say, we're on YouTube.
There you go. But see, and this censorship is getting ridiculous, but
that's why we're on Rockfin, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we'll be going to Rockfin later. We can only say so much. I have a.
Well, Sean, why do you think that is? Let me ask you. Why,
hey, even my audience knows. My audience knows that YouTube, you got to shush and you can't, say stuff. So I just love my audience so much that the ones that go support me on Rockfin, it's not about I have more love. It's about I love you all, and I try to do all I can. But with Rockfin, we're going to be talking over there pretty soon because we got to get into some crazy topics, and it just can't. It's not allowed on here. So, but I always want to give my audience on YouTube a chance to see the show, my guests, and hopefully come over and support me. But, anyways, dude. So, what people don't know, well, my audience probably knows that me and you linked up and everything. And for me, man, once I saw you calling out Hollywood and Kimmel, I always had an eerie feeling about him. So that was I was kind of like, yeah, someone new. You always hear about Clinton. You always hear about Obama. There's other people on that list that's people talk about, but like I was like, oh, he's targeting him. So this seems more specific now. This seems more like something new and fresh. And that hashtag just went crazy. You went crazy. How many days did you do again? The challenge?
46. I mean, because I didn't want to I knew it would only take I Babe Ruthed it. I said 46, had no idea what was gonna happen, but it ended up being perfect, as far as everything. I mean, we were out there at LA at Jimmy Kimmel studio.
Yeah, we were.
And crazy.
We were doing our thing out there. We saw security right away.
They saw us the second day.
And we'll get into detail about that on Rockfin for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But that was a crazy day. I can't wait to explain that story. But also I have an announcement to make for my YouTube audience here that obviously, as you all have watched and seen and have shared so many times, and thank you all for the lovely donations so far to get this project up and running. But King Bao is gracing us with his presence in the film. So he will be a part of Level with me. And he will be spitting some knowledge and some truth, and we're going to be getting that done.
It was cool to meet you and have you have the tools to educate others on said, because it's one thing, it's one thing to know it, and it's another thing to be able to teach it, and it's another thing to have done everything that you would need to have done to be able to teach it and make it simple.
Yeah.
You understand? I can tell the world that we live on a third dimensional plane, and they look at me like, what the hell does that mean? It's another thing to say, here's the proof as to how we are coming up with this hypothesis, and you've done a brilliant job of that. So that's why I can get behind any of your films, and I support you, because that's what matters, is being able to logically explain, this is why we believe what we believe. Look at the last however many years. A lot of people haven't been able to put their beliefs behind any type of logic, and they've been able to be suggested, hypnotic principle, suggestion. We are all suggestible, and they've been able to be suggested on realities that aren't real. And this has been from the beginning of time. I just showed someone a Stephen Greer film, Unacknowledged. Okay. I don't know if you've ever.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
So it talks about the UFO phenomenon and how the government has essentially known all of these things, and they have technology essentially that could change the world overnight.
We did secure some footage of the flying disc in the hangar. The code name for the project is Equipe, and it has been designed for humans to fly. The Russian engineers here at Saratov see this as an alternative to aeroplane transport in the 21st century.
You've put in the work to understand what you've understand, to be able to then give information to people to change their paradigm, because it's all about being able to change your paradigm. And the only way you can be open to changing your paradigm is to be open. And how do you become open? Well, there's a lot of, in hypnosis, we know that there's a lot of different ways to open people. And one of the basic ways in sales, what do they say? They say people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So if you're a respected individual, you're respected by thousands of people, I'm respected by thousands of people. If people now are able to, their critical factor is down, meaning the thing that always protects them from new information or, trying new things, why do you want to do that? You might get hurt. I don't know. Just, you probably shouldn't do that. That thing in your mind, when they see us and they hear us talk about a new thing, they might become triggered in one way, shape, or form. Like, wait a minute, what are they talking about? Yeah. But as long as they continue to remain open to what we are saying, that is where the catalyst of change begins, because now they can become suggested to new information. And it's just a suggestion. What you're talking about is literally a suggestion. Hey, you can believe this or you cannot believe this. Yep. But based off of what I've done and the information that I have, this is what it is. And now you can give them that information and they can go, well, I didn't have that information before, but now that I do, it makes
wonder why I never had that information.
Exactly. As to why he thinks that way and why he believes that thing. You understand? That's where we need to get to. And that's where we're getting to now.
And before we switch over, I want to tell my audience here, when Joe was at my house here in Cali, he watched some of the Next Level here. And, I was looking at his reaction, and I'll tell you right now, the guy was focused. He knew what was going on. He understood it. And we had a conversation about it, private conversation about it after, and brought it up many times. He wants to help. He wants to help what we're doing and how we need to change the world. And we can't have people disconnected from things.
Bro, I've always known this stuff. Hear me out. I've always known this stuff, but now you've given me a platform or the tools to be able to say, hey, just go watch this film. It's like there's been so many people who might be like considered flat earthers, and they use the flat earthers. They've almost used this as a term to label people.
Yeah, it's like a target. It's like a target. Yeah. And that's why we try to say true earth now, but it's just, because they took flat earth and they made it into a fairy tale disc floating in space and hilariousness. They made hit pieces on Netflix. They do all this shit because they're scared as shit. Because how do you really censor flat earth? You're not hurting anyone. You can't. So they're like, damn it. So they just buried it and they put their shit there. As everybody knows, they put their shit on top, the Comedy Central bits and the Neil deGrasse Tyson bits and everything else. It's to make sure that the normal person, like you're talking about, that has that open mind, maybe they want to go research it. So they go to YouTube well, they're screwed if they do that. And that's what normal people do every day. They want to research something, and God bless them for even saying, I want to go research that. The problem is that the powers that be now, they fucked with everyone's way of getting the information.
Yeah.
Before it wasn't like
that. Of course. But that's why that's what I'm saying is we have to thank and pay homage to people like yourself who have taken the time to take the information that you have. Bro, I used to do 4-hour live streams where I would go through a presentation that I made on everything that I knew or was understanding and give it to people for free. The fact that you've been able to make these films and, you know, you're not trying to get rich off of them. You're trying to educate. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's what allows now more credibility to come. Like you talked about, you got really good at a skill, meaning I got good at music. The reason I wanted to get good at music was so that I could be able to tell a message how I wanted to be able to tell it at a certain quality or a certain thing where when people turned it on, they wouldn't be able to turn it off because of how it sounded, because sonically it sounded good. So now we got them sonically. Now we can give them the message to their subconscious mind. In the same sense, you've been making these films in a very Hollywood-esque way outside of Hollywood. So now they're able to take in the information and go, this is entertaining. Wow, I'm learning something, because I learned this when I was speaking. A good presentation always has to have a little bit of humor, a little bit of, you know, seriousness, but a tone of education. Yeah. Whenever you're educating, you're never demeaning. You understand? Education is never demeaning. Information is information. And that's why, you know, we have to pay homage to creators such as yourself as well. And say, thank you for giving the information how you're giving it. You're not doing it in a way. Hey, no, you're just saying, hey, this is what we know.
And here are the facts.
How we know it. Yep, this is the facts. This is how we know it. And that is almost more important, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do the same thing as you, just being like, you're stupid for not understanding this. Don't you see that they don't understand how to level with people? And I've seen you do it live with people. And just go, wait, what makes you believe that? And, you know, it might come off to some people as standoffish or aggressive or whatever, but it's not that. It's a truth in your conviction, meaning you're just like, hey, I know you believe that.
But why?
Yeah, but why? I believe something completely different. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I love telling you my why. My why comes with evidence, facts, and I can show you. Their whys are my kindergarten teacher said so or NASA said so. And Bingo. I'm not going to. That's, you know, it's pretty easy to talk to someone like that because but again, like you said, they get defensive. I mean, it's their whole world, man. I mean, that's why they teach you at 4 years old that the Earth's a ball, because it's the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. All of them are right around that age. But your parents only tell you that all of those are fake, but that one you can hold on to the rest of your life. And, you know, I'm breaking the child down in them. So some people get a little defensive or they get a little bit arrogant, but that's how it's going to be, man. And I'm a no holds barred guy. I'm going to go all in. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, or it's not that I don't care about people's feelings. It's that with this topic, I'm over it in the sense of now I don't. I used to, you know, but now it's like, look, here are the facts. If you're not on board, you're with them.
This is your Christ consciousness. This is your Christ consciousness moment, because Christ consciousness doesn't have shame and it lives in truth. Correct. That's the point. Like, I don't give a fuck what you have to think about me, as long as I know in my heart I'm speaking truth and I'm doing it from a place of love. I'm not trying to belittle you. You're not doing anything dangerous by telling anybody, like, to them that could harm them right now. Yeah. Outside of their ego, you're not doing anything that could harm them by just being stern and saying, I don't believe that, and here's why. Yeah. And the reason why they've allowed you to feel this way, in my opinion, is because of this. Now you're able to argue a point. Most people can't argue points anymore, bro. Yeah. They're so emotional. It's just, and like, I just posted a post on polyamory on my thing. I'm not saying, now I've never once have I said anywhere I'm poly this, or I don't do labels at all. You know, but I got attacked by this woman who was following me like, oh, you can't be as awake as you are because you posted something. And what the post was is, if you're polyamorous and then you only give 33.3% to one partner and 33.3% to another partner and 33.3% to another partner, that's not what giving your love looks like. That's not how it should look. You should give 100% of yourself to everyone all of the time. That is the point. That's why I posted the post. It's like, not to say, oh, put polyamory out there. It's to go,
Yeah.
I love Sean Hibbeler 100%. And my relationship with Sean Hibbeler is 100%. Correct. You know that if I call or you call, I'm going to call you back if I miss it.
100%.
Facts.
And you're there for me too. I mean, you're someone to speak to. You can have a normal conversation about life, or a conversation about what you're doing that week, or plan something for the future. So,
yes,
all out friend. I call you my friend. I reference you as my friend to everyone I speak to, because I know what a friend is, and you've been a friend since the second I met you and spoke with you. So that's what a friend is. You've been consistent with that, and your actions, actually, in my opinion, speak louder than your words. But goddamn, you got words too.
Yeah. So here's the funniest part.
Louder,
The funniest part about all this, right, is that she just kind of goes off on me, sends me a message. Oh, you definitely can't be as awake as I thought you were if you're promoting this. And I just said at the end of it, after all of her rant, she sent me 7 messages. I just go, when did I ever say that? That was it, bro.
That's all it takes. Is people are so dumb that they just want to stir the pot, man.
And no response. You could see it was just like, oh, I just put all this energy into this thing that might have not been the way that I thought it was.
Yeah, amen. Hey, we live and learn, man.
Yes.
But I do want to get right back into Epstein and Kimmel and a few other topics. So, YouTube, thanks for watching. Hopefully you come over to Rockfin right now and join us and watch the rest of this great episode, the premiere episode of the Hibbeler Effect. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you guys next time.
Piss off, YouTube.
I mean, it's your turn.
I think I'm going to solve it.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, the Earth looks pretty flat to me.
Yeah, that's it.
With every rabbit hole, the truth is placed directly in front of you. Yet it is up to you to find it. What is truth? Well, it purifies your soul. The truth can set you free. And for the millions of truthers walking every corner of our earth, I beg of you to walk with us. There's much more to life than we were told. This world is not what you think it is. You have been lied to on a massive scale. For the future of mankind, it's about time you started to pay attention.
So this idea that they're going, oh, I see the curvature of the Earth, and this, no, you don't. You don't. I'm sorry.
The vehicle has exploded.
We just hope you strap yourselves in tight for this ride.
Yeah, I just stopped by because, are you aware of that there's a rumor on the internet?
Vic, did something strange happen then? Something is wrong. We have a problem.
The problem is that society blindly accepts the pseudoscience narrative, but regardless of their propaganda or their agenda, they know that it's all coming to an end.
See the curvature of the Earth?
That's a fisheye lens, dude.
Level with me. Coming April 22nd. Visit levelwithmefilm.com for more information.
All right, we're back. Thank you for everyone that came over from YouTube right now. We do appreciate that.